All right, we're going to look at bearings today. Now, bearings are directions. So a bearing describes the direction of one location from another. Right. Now we use a compass rose to describe direction. Now here are two compass roses as an example. So you've got to remember bearing means direction. Okay, the direction of one location from another. So for a basic example, let's have a look at, let's just say you were standing here. Let's say call this point A. And then your friend was standing here at point B. So the direction of where your friend is standing from where you're standing, the direction is what we would say is northeast. Okay. Now we could also describe the direction as an angle. That angle in this particular diagram is 45 degrees, and we would describe that angle at, so even though this is angle 45 degrees, the way we write a bearing down is with 3 digits. So we'd write down 045 degrees. Okay. So just to recap that, the direction of B from where you're standing at A is northeast or 045 degrees. Now, obviously, we need more accuracy to describe other directions. So, what if someone was standing out here somewhere, right? So we can have a second compass rose, if you like, which has got even more directions on it. And you've got things like northeast and north-northeast. Now, north-northeast is halfway between north and northeast. Okay, this is east-northeast, east-southeast, south-southeast, and south-southwest, west-southwest, and west-northwest, and this is north-northwest. Okay, comparing that to your basic compass rose, or more simplified version, N is for north, NE is for northeast, E is for east, and you've got southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest. Okay, and these angles here, 0 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, they are measured clockwise from north. Okay, so here's a list of some of those names: north, northeast, east, southeast, and so on. Now, we often use an abbreviated compass because drawing all those lines is time consuming. So here's a cut down version just showing north, east, south, and west. And sometimes we just have a north arrow. That makes it even easier. So just to recap, a bearing is an angle measurement used to describe the direction of one location from another. The angle is measured clockwise from north and is always written with 3 digits. This is called a 3-figure bearing or a true bearing. Okay. So let's have a look at the first example. We're going to show the bearing or direction of Darwin from Sydney. Okay. Now, because the direction is from Sydney, okay, from Sydney, that means you have to draw a line from Sydney to Darwin, right? And you're describing that direction. Hang on. There we go. All right, you're describing that direction with your compass rose. Okay. So what you've got to do is you have to draw a compass rose in at Sydney because the direction is taken from Sydney. So draw your compass rose there. Mark north, south, east, and west. Now this angle that we've got to describe is clockwise from north. So starting from north, you've got to measure this clockwise angle. Now we're just going to estimate it. Okay, so remember this is 0 degrees for north. This is 90 degrees for east. We're measuring clockwise from the north direction. then 180 degrees, then 270 degrees, and then 360 degrees is the full circle. But we don't write 360. We just keep it as 0. Okay. Now you can see our angle is between 270. Actually, I'll keep 360 just for this example. The angle will be between 270 and 360. So let's just say it's halfway between. Okay. So halfway between would be, say, 315 degrees. Okay. So I'm going to call that angle from all the way around there 315 degrees. So starting from here, rotating all the way around to that's 315. Okay, so the way we write this down is the bearing of Darwin, so the direction, if you like, the direction of Darwin from Sydney is 315 degrees. Okay, we call this a three-figure bearing, right? And when you're using three-figure bearings, you have to use 3 digits. Okay, so the bearing is 315 degrees clockwise from north. So the direction of Darwin from Sydney is 315 degrees. Now let's go the other way now. For this one, we're going to show the bearing or direction of Sydney from Darwin. Now, because it's from Darwin, we start at Darwin and draw the line to Sydney, right? And then you are going to describe that direction. So the direction, so I'm going to put the arrowhead here. You want to describe the direction of Sydney from where you are at Darwin. Now, because the direction is from Darwin, you're going to draw your compass rose in, okay, an abbreviated one if you like. There's north, south, east, and west. Now, this is the angle. We want clockwise from north. We want the clockwise angle from north. So remember, north is 0 degrees. East is 90 degrees. South is 180 degrees. Okay, so now let's estimate it again. Just for this example, we'll say it's about halfway between the 90-degree line and the 180-degree line. We know that this is a 90-degree angle here, so half of 90 is 45. So 90 plus 45 is 135. So I'm going to say that this angle here is 135 degrees, approximately. We're just estimating here. So coming back to our answer, the bearing or direction of Sydney from Darwin is 135 degrees. Okay, so remember that angle. It is measured clockwise from north. So you've got to start at north and then rotate in a clockwise direction. Okay, copy that down. And we're going to do some examples here. All right, let's do the first one. So the bearing of, now the bearing, it's the bearing of C from B. Okay, so where the compass is drawn at, that's where you're taking the direction from. So the bearing of C from B, okay, is, now, you're not going to write 60 degrees, right? Right, we are measuring the angle clockwise from north. That angle there is 60. Because it's a three-figure bearing we have to write, you've got to write down 3 digits, so it should be 060 degrees for that one. Now let's have a look at the next one. You can pause the video if you want to have a go at this one. So here's my direction, all right, and the compass rose is sitting right at Y. So the direction of X from Y is, now it's got to be the clockwise angle from north. So it's got to be that angle there. Now we know that this angle here in total is 90. 90 take away 34 is 56. Okay, so 56 degrees. Now again, we could write down 56, but that wouldn't be entirely correct. For a three-figure bearing, you must have 3 digits, so 056 degrees. I'll copy that down. Let's try the next one. Now, you can pause the video if you like and have a go at these. The bearing of, now here's the direction I've got to describe. I have to describe the bearing or direction of B from A. So just imagine you're standing at A and you describe that direction. It's got to be a clockwise angle from north that you're determining. So the bearing of B from A is, now, how do we work this angle out? We know this is 0 degrees. We know east is 90 degrees. We know south is 180 degrees. West is 270 degrees. Now, it's between 180 and 270. Now, we know that this angle here in total is 90. 90 take away 51 is 39. Okay, so this angle here, right, is 39. So, now we know that up to here is 180, plus another 39 will be 219. Okay, now for the next one, again, we're describing this direction here. You are standing here at A. Bearing of B from A is, now it's clockwise direction again, isn't it? Okay, so there's 0 degrees, there's 90 degrees, here's 180 degrees. Now this angle here, just in there, is 37. So 180 plus 37 is 217 degrees. All right, let's try another one. So you can pause the video if you like and have a go at this one. So this is the direction we're describing. You are standing here. The direction is from M. Okay, so if you like, the direction is from M. So we're describing the direction of P from M. Now you need the clockwise angle from north. The clockwise angle from north is that angle there. Now we know full circle is 360 degrees. If I go 360 minus 22, it's going to give me 338. All right, so that clockwise angle from north is 338 degrees. All right, let's do a few more. All right, so you can try these ones. All right, so the bearing of, again, we've got the bearing of B from A is, you can write it down if you want, 50 degrees, but we need 3 digits, so 050 degrees. Okay, try this one on your own as well. You can pause the video if you like. So the bearing of C from D, so this is the direction you're describing, and we need the clockwise angle from north. Okay, there's north there, east there. East is 90 degrees, so up to here is 90. 90 plus 56 is 146. Okay. Now, what about this one? You can pause the video if you like and have a go at this one. This is the direction. You're standing here. Okay, so the bearing of E from F is, now we need the clockwise angle from north. There's north. I need this angle here. And we know that north is 360 degrees. So 360 minus 41, okay, it's going to be 319 degrees. Okay. All right, write that down. Pause the video, have a go at this one. So there's north. Here's the direction I'm describing. You're standing here at G. The direction is from G. Okay, from G. So it's the direction of H from G. Now we need a clockwise angle from north. Okay, so now up to here is 90. This is 180. This is 270. So if I go 270, take away 31, that'll give me the required angle. So that should be 239. Okay. All right, now there is another way of doing bearings, another way of writing them down. I'm going to call this compass bearings. Now, I'm just going to put the north and south arrows here. North, south, east, and west. Now, here's my direction. So I'm going to start off by saying the bearing of B from A. Should be B there. All right. Now, the way we describe this angle is, first of all, I say whether B is north or south of A. Now, clearly B is north of A, so I'm going to write down north. And then I've got to describe the angle, the acute angle between the north line and the ray itself. Okay. Now, when I say the ray, right, this line here, the direction line, we call that the ray. Okay. So the angle between the ray and the north line, the acute angle, is the angle that I want. So that's going to be 50 degrees in there. Okay, so I say that the direction of B from A is north and then 50 degrees east. Okay, so you can imagine if you're standing here at A and I said, okay, I want you to follow these directions, north 50 degrees east, you would go, okay, I'm facing north now, right? And then from north, I'm going to rotate 50 degrees in the easterly direction, and then that's exactly where B is. Okay. So let's have a look at the next one. This is north. This is south. This is east. This is west. Okay, now we've got to describe this direction here. So the bearing of H from G. Now, if you're wondering where you put the letters, the compass centers at G, so that means the direction is from G. Okay. Now, this new way of doing it. First of all, we're going to say whether H is north or south of G. Well, clearly H is south of G, isn't it? So I'm going to write down south. Okay, and then we've got to measure the angle between the ray. So here's my ray. Right, there's my ray. And the south line in this case. Okay, so you're always measuring the angle between the ray and the north or south line in this type of bearing. Now, 31 degrees is there. We know this angle is 90. 90 take 31 is 59 degrees. So the direction of H from G is south. So H is south, and then 59 degrees west. Now notice here I can write the angle without using 3 digits. So that's what's different about this method. So if you follow these directions and I said to you, describe the direction of H from G, you would say, okay, stand at G. I want you to face in the southerly direction, and then I want you to rotate 59 degrees in the westerly direction, and then you'll be looking straight at H. Okay, so notice the angle in this method described is always acute. Okay, 59 degrees is acute, and it's between the ray and the north or south line. All right, now I want you to have a go at these questions by yourself and pause the video and then check the video for the answers. Okay, so the bearing of C from B, so here's my direction, First of all, C is north, isn't it? It's north of B. And then I've got to measure the angle between the ray and the north line. So that's 60 degrees and then east. Okay, now, next one. The bearing of X from Y. Now I need to measure the angle between the north line and the ray. Okay, remember this is the ray just here. Okay. All right, so this is 56 degrees there. So bearing of X from Y is, first of all, we're going to say north, then 56 degrees east. All right, copy that down. Let's try the next one. So we've got, for this one, the bearing of B from A. Okay, now, first of all, B is south, isn't it? B is south of A, so I'm going to write down south. I need to measure the angle between the ray and the south line. Right, so that angle is going to be 39 degrees. Right, we know that because it has to be 90 altogether. So it's going to be south, then 39 degrees, which is in the westerly direction, isn't it? Okay, now for the next one, bearing of B from A. So here's my direction. This is where you're standing. Now B is south, isn't it? It's south. B is south of A, and the angle between the ray and the south line is 37 degrees. So I'm going to write down 37 degrees, and then it's in the westerly direction. Okay? All right. And last one. So we've got the bearing of P from M. Right, this is your direction. And it is, first of all, P is north. It's north. P is north of M. And I need to measure the angle between the north line and the ray. So that'll be 22 degrees and then west. Okay, so that's it.